Okay. Well, let's do it here. Let's just do it here. This is what happens when you are doing things in real time. Yes, I know you're there. You see, this is it. When you are doing things in real time, this is what happens. So you understand that I'm no fake. I'm the real deal. We had a software that crashed the other day, upgraded the software, thinking that everything was fine and set, but then you go out now and then there's some issues with the software. Now you got to go back to that again and get that sorted out. Because of my interest in serving you, the viewers, the Guyanese, the good Guyanese citizens, because of my interest to serve you. This is why I believe in efficiency. And thank you, the viewers, because I cannot know, and because of the chat, because of the live chat now, this is why I know that, hey, this is working. And when women criticize you, you better listen. So I read one of the females in the chat says, you should cancel the broadcast for today. That meant it sounded so bad. So you see, I listen. I'm one of the persons that actually listen. And I'm following your response there. So the audio is good. That's important. As long as the audio is good and you can hear what I have to say, that's important. Unfortunately, I can't show you the videos I want to show you. That's where the software comes in, because on the software, you can show the video, you can show the audios. But I'll show that tomorrow. I'll get to that again, and I'll show it tomorrow. But for today, we'll have to talk. We would have to do a lot of talking today. So let's get back to the point I was about to make, which is the president dissolved the parliament because it's his constitutional duty. Elections is close, and if the parliament is still in session, it is a conflict of interest. Okay? Now, how can I break this down? It's like sports. The reason why they tell you to go get a test to see if there's any substances in your system is because they want to make sure that it's a fair game. It's not a rigged sport. You're not on drugs. You're not using any kind of stimulants to help you to improve your performance against the athletes who may not have any stimulants in their body. Fair game. Go get tested. Get a blood sample. Get a blood test. We need to rule out that you have nothing in your system. So if you win, you win. And that's the thing that why I agree with Donald Trump. No men in women's sport. No men in women's sport. I think they should have a similar law like that when it comes to Guyana politics. Don't you think? Let's look at that for a moment. In Guyana's politics, in sports, no men in women's sports because it's an unfair competition. How can you have a man compete against a woman? It's ridiculous. Of course, he's going to beat her 100 times over. In the same way, The Guyanese citizens are amongst the most generous, loyal, peaceful, intelligent, creative, ambitious people in the world. The Guyanese people. So when it comes to politics, a democratic country like Guyana, you have varying parties or candidates who will try to seek the attention of the populace to represent them. There should be a law prohibiting certain characters from entering the race. Persons who have legal issues, a criminal background, persons who are before the courts should not be allowed to contest an election at no level. There must be consequences for committing crimes. You can't you can't want to commit crimes, upset the lives of the average, decent, law-abiding citizen, and then go back to living as normal and enjoy the privileges that comes with being a law-abiding citizen. The same way I said, the grants, the cash grants, the free education, the housing, access to land, access to loans, all of that should be blocked from anyone with a criminal background. Criminals who commit violent crime, who did time in prison for robbery under arms, for murder, for rape, you name it. If they were convicted by a jury of their peers and they served time in prison, they should not have access to government land free. They should not have the ability to vote ever again. They should not be eligible for a national ID card, a passport. No. They should not be eligible for no kind of grants whatsoever. No kind of grants. The only identification card they must have is an identification card showing they were released from prison and stating the crimes that they served. So whenever they go anywhere and produce that ID card, the people will know that's the criminal. Beware. Don't hire them. Don't rent houses to them. That should be the society. That should be societal norm to deal with criminals. You must make it so difficult and impossible for criminals to come back in society and pretend that all is well. Because usually these same criminals always often repeat their crimes. They become career criminals. And this is what the PNC says. Oh, we need to have programs to reform the prisoners when they come out of prison. We need to have programs so they can enter and try to reintroduce them back to society and help them to get themselves. Help what? Help what? Are you fucking stupid? Help what? Who is supposed to help them? They murder people, commit crimes, robbed. They have traumatized people. Their victims didn't get any help. The people that they put in wheelchair didn't get any help. The people that they robbed an opportunity to have a normal life, they didn't get any help. And this is the thing that I am so passionate about when it comes to these Negroes, that nobody from the PNC ever advocate for their victims. They never do. They only advocate for the criminals. Criminals they advocate for, not the victims. So there should be a law that nobody with a conviction, a criminal record who did time in prison, can enter the national political stage, regional or national. They must be blocked from that. And secondly, and most importantly, if you are in the category, personality-wise, if you are in that category of ugliness, like Azrain Norton, you should be banned from the camera. You should have no opportunity to be anywhere facing a camera unless you're confessing to a crime. You shouldn't. People like Norton should never be allowed to enter politics. They should be somebody's bodyguard. That's the role they need to play. To be somebody's bodyguard. Because at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about. That kind of personality should also be criminal. And that should be banned from politics. So I want to spend some more time. No, I'm serious. You think this is a joke? It's not. I'm absolutely serious. I want to get some more into the Muhammad issue. The justice system of Guyana, GCOM, the Guyana Elections Commission, should be consulting with each other. And from the time all these individuals were sanctioned, not just him, there are so many others. From the time they were sanctioned, GCOM and the Justice Department should have been busy putting together legislation to address those kinds of issues, so that sanctioned individuals that are sanctioned not within Guyana, but internationally, should not be eligible to contest in national or regional elections. They should not be eligible. It's a joke. It's a joke. And you have to run against, and they're competing against the people who are law-abiding citizens. Where is the justice in that? The people who are working and keeping and upholding the law and are living according to the law, paying their taxes, doing what they need to do, those individuals don't have a level playing field. It's unfair that they have to compete with the likeness of Azrain and all of these others, whatever name they label themselves. And now you have these agents for Azrain Muhammad in the US calling for political genocide against the members of the PPP. They're doing it again. They start with that nonsense again, calling for political genocide against the members of the PPP. Now, where is the ERC? When you have these people that are giving instructions during the 2020 elections, before and after, as to how to deal with the issue of PPP supporters, talking about poisoning them, talking about this and talking about that, those people are still around. They're still around social media, pushing the same propaganda, the same poison they're spewing out against members of the PPP. They're still there. How come they have not been arrested and dealt and charged since 2020? This is what happens when you take these things for granted and you brush it off as, oh, they're just PPP, PNC people. They're just racist. This is what happened. They stick around to do it again. This is my point about when you allow criminals to roam free. Reformation, giving them a second chance. They do it again. The first time is all about experimenting. If they don't get caught, they learn from that. They modify their approach. And by the fifth time, they're experts. They are experts. And those are the people you want to give second chances. I say no. So all these organizations who are attacking the government, who are calling President Ali a dictator, a racist, and all these kinds of stuff, I've never heard them condemn the members of the PNC and APNU and AFC and all these other people when they are telling their supporters and followers, this is how you mix this liquid or whatever to poison the PPP people. I have seen nothing on social media condemning that. Absolutely nothing. They have not been blocked or suspended, arrested, deported, none of that. So today, they are around to join forces with the biggest criminal in Guyana, Azrain Muhammad. They are now in his camp. And that's what troubles me. You know, that is what troubles me. The people who were involved in the riot, the people who spread and try to incite uprising recently with the Doubleday hotel crisis and so on, those people, all their arrows targeted PPP supporters. Their ammunitions were aimed towards PPP supporters. And it's funny that Azrain Muhammad and his family were born in the PPP camp. They knew the struggles that the PPP supporters experienced since the Barnum time. It is funny that such a man who claims to be a proud Muslim or proud this or proud that is surrounding himself with these criminals who has a mandate to take out his people. PPP supporters, Azrain Muhammad, as you don't know, they're Indians like you. And the people that you are hiring in your camp, they have said they want to take them out. That includes you. But you are now aligning yourself with these thugs of the PNC. Why? Because you are afraid of them. I hit the nail on the head. I hit the hammer on the nail. The only reason why Azrain Muhammad is surrounding himself with these criminals, it is because he is afraid of them. Look at the party that he has. They call it whatever. Look at the so-called coalition in the party. Who do you see there? Who do you see in the top seats of the Win party? And who are the people facing the bullet for them? However you turn it, however you twist it, these Afro-Guyanese wouldn't learn. They wouldn't learn. Aubrey Norton and the PNC wouldn't learn. They're done. Norton is finished. The PNC is finished. I think this is the last elections the PNC will contest. The last election. They're done. Azrain Muhammad is going to replace Aubrey Norton. Azrain Muhammad is going to replace Aubrey Norton. Norton is finished. His own people don't want him. The people don't want any of them. Not this Amanza or Brooms or all these other people. The slum, the ghetto, don't want them. Look who they're running after now, the Indian guy. All of the supporters of the PNC, I thought they would have held strong. But I realized of recent that the PNC platform are talking more about Muhammad than they're talking about Norton. The PNC platform. They're not talking about Norton. They're not talking about the PNC or APNU or AFC. They want the Indian guy. He is not relevant. And look at that. The guy with a criminal record. The guy who's working with Russia. Who is accused of being a Maduro puppet. The guy who is an embezzler. A sanctioned man. A threat to Guyana's democracy. A threat to Guyana's national security. That guy, the decent Afro-Guyanese are supporting. I feel for Aubrey Norton now. I have sympathy for the guy. Nobody's talking about him. The person that gets the attention now in the opposition arena is Azrain Muhammad. I mean, President Ali's attention is untouched. It's growing. But the space that Nigel Hughes and Aubrey Norton and all these others were occupying, they sold it out for a few bucks more. Imagine they give up their birthright of being the opposition to Muhammad. The guy is clever. And we thought he was stupid. At least I thought so. You got to be real strategic. You got to be a con man. to con Aubrey Norton and the others, because they came out of the Burnham camp. They have had years of rigging experience, years of manipulating, of controlling their base. And you have this imbecile that just came on the scene a few months ago and has already made inroads into the PNC controlled areas. You have to give the guy some thumbs up for that. The guy is able to penetrate, get the PNC stronghold to protect him, to campaign for him. Who is the clever one here? Who is the smart one here? And there we go saying that Muhammad is an idiot. Aubrey Norton, you are the idiot. You allow Muhammad to replace you. Nigel Hughes, aren't you supposed to be the smart lawyer? Didn't they teach you that in law school? Social psychology? Political science? Or you didn't do that? You made this cheap billionaire take you out, took your place, both of you, Aubrey Norton and Nigel Hughes. Muhammad replaced you. Now he's targeting the big guy. He realized that, oh, Norton? Norton is nothing, man. Norton is insignificant. Nigel Hughes? Nigel who? Nigel, my focus is Ali. I'm not bothered with these guys. That's the attitude that Azrain Muhammad now has. That's the confidence that he has, because you, Norton, and you, Nigel Hughes, you sit back and you said, let him go. Let him go. You give him the keys to the ghetto. Now he is living in the ghetto. You lost your ownership. The billionaire bought all the houses in the ghetto. You are not welcome anymore. You see all them overweight people are running behind Azrain because they're getting the food here. That's where they're getting the food. So now the focus is on the two candidates. Imagine that. Now we have to talk about Azrain Muhammad and Irfan Ali. They're the two focus right now. It's an insult to President Ali to have to even put Azrain on his political talking point. It's an insult. Ali is like, what happened to Norton? I like talking about Norton. I like talking about Nigel Hughes. Now Jack Dio has to do the same thing. What is Norton doing? And the AFC and the PNC, what are they doing? I don't want to talk about Azrain. I want to talk about these guys. But now you're looking for them. You don't know where they are. They retire without saying anything. They quit without giving their resignation. You're searching for them. Send out an SOS for Norton. Find out where he is. Because nobody wants to talk about the criminal. It's like talking about the devil. Nobody wants to talk about the devil. We like talking about you, Aubrey Norton. We like that. But you are irrelevant. Come back. We miss you. No, we got to talk about Azrain. Azrain. I saw another clip where they were campaigning somewhere in the Amerindian villages. Somewhere there. This is where the software messed up. I wanted to show you the clip. And Azrain Muhammad was calling somebody, some Muslim guy, to give testimony testimony, like he's in church, as to the fact that the guy called him and President Ali and Vice President Jaglio for some issue, some help. But only Azrain responded. That's what he was hoping to hear. But in front of the camera, the guy is like, I can't lie. The camera is watching. And the guy said, yeah, but Ali helped me. Jaglio helped me. You helped me, but they helped me too. So Azrain's response was, yeah, I know that, but it's not my job to help you. But I came and helped you. What a cruel, selfish response that was. He wanted the person to say, Ali didn't help him. Jaglio had no time with him, but only Muhammad helped him. If the person had said, yes, Muhammad, I'd called you, the other people didn't come, then he would have said, you see, this is why you need to vote for me, because when people call, I come. But the guy didn't lie. He turned around and say, you see, it's not my job to help. This guy, like the president says, like the vice president said, is such a liar. Because a few moments back, he called himself a good Muslim. And it's his duty as a good Muslim to help people, especially his fellow Muslim. And the guy he was calling to give testimony is a Muslim. Then somebody said in the background, yeah, but you're a Muslim, right? You're supposed to help. This is not about political candidate. You're supposed to help. These are the people that want to be president. You want people to lie just so you can feel confident about yourself. But because the man didn't lie, he turned back and say, it's not my job to help. Yes, it is your job to help. Not because you're looking for votes, because you said you are a good Muslim. That's why you help. So whether the president helped or the vice president helped, that has nothing to do with your personality. You help regardless. But this is what we're talking about. Now you have to question all the so-called help he alleged to have helped people, and what was the motive? It was not because he wanted to do it out of a clean heart. As his uncle said, he hijacked his father's charity and realized he can make a profit on it. And this is him now trying to make a profit on his father's charity by using it and publicizing it. Now reminding people, remember I helped you when the president didn't? That's the man you're going to vote for. That is the evil, selfish man you're going to vote for. Trying to coerce people to lie on camera, to say things to make him look good and the president looks bad. Like talking about the government concocted a plan to go after him because he announced his candidacy. He even got his father to lie for him. When the fact of the matter is, he has been under investigation since in the PNC time, from 2015. Look how many years it took before they could wrap up their case against him. But just because it happened during the Ali regime, they blame it on Ali. That's the strategy. He knew what was coming. He announced, I'm going to run for president. And since the government could not compromise and say, hey, we're going to try to influence America to drop these charges against you, he's using that situation to say, if you want me to quit, drop the charges. and the government is not corrupt, the government will not be held at ransom. The government don't make deals with terrorists. The government don't bargain with sanctioned individuals. So because the government didn't do that, he just go ahead, and since he has the money, I'm going to run for president. The only reason why he wanted to get involved is because he wanted the charges against him to be dropped. And that was his base. Drop it, and I drop my candidacy. You don't drop it, I'll just go ahead and give you a headache. So the people now, the voters, need to see the game that Azrain is playing. They need to see that. And how he's using them, the average person who is not poor, just lazy. The average person, using them as a scapegoat to get the government to bend and bow to him. Not that government. Not this government. You could have gotten the PNC because they like to take bribes, but not the Ali government. Go ahead. The only people that you're hurting in this election, Muhammad, is Aubrey Norton and Nigel Hughes. They're the only people you're hurting because they're the ones who will lose votes. They're the ones who you are going to unseat. You will take their place. You will become the opposition leader. That would have nothing to do with President Ali or the PPP. Your problem is with Aubrey Norton. Then you will see how much these people like you. Threaten their votes. When they realize in August, next month, that people are shutting their doors when they go in the neighborhoods, I can guarantee you, Azrain, they are coming after you. Then Ali can have a good night's rest. His troubles are over. But for now, they still think somehow you're not a threat to them. In August, we'll see. Then we'll see how much APNU, AFC loves you. When they realize that none of the ghettos want to talk to them and everybody's running behind the crime family. I assure you, you want to see hate, what it's like? Wait until August comes and the PNC count is dropping. Do you see with the PPP? You see what's happening, right? Everybody is crossing over. The little that is there, you will have to scavenge for it and the PNC. But everybody is crossing over to Ali. They are joining the camp. They are joining the winning team. So the other issues I want to cover, I need to play these footage in order to do that. My script was not prepared to just present the show like this, but the software did some issues, so we got to work on that again. But nonetheless, it's a holiday weekend, and I want to thank you for your time and the opportunity to be here with you. You have a lot to think about. So until next time, where is this thing here? Have a fine weekend.